guys are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go. A ball sack station.
That's what a business owner looks like. Here, chosen one. Why are you laughing? It's a really serious matter.
I'm not laughing. Continue.
This is my culture. Here, chosen one, here.
This is your culture?
No, it's not.
Severance is your culture?
Severance, I am 100%. I just glitched the fuck out. I just got
Am I talking to your fucking outie right now or your innie?
I don't know. Are we out or are we in? Bitch. Have y'all, are you in or are you out?
I just killed that mosquito.
Ew, you did!
Yep.
Ew! As you can tell.
I just saved your fucking life.
Thank you.
Okay, hi. Welcome to Tattoo Homewreckers.
As you
I
can
hope
tell,
this is not your first episode.
The ADHD is raging in this room. There is so much happening.
We're a podcast that talks about tattoos, life, and everything in between.
Yes. Mostly in between.
Yeah, mostly in between, because there's not enough tattoo stuff that like we can talk about that we think is interesting.
Yeah.
That being said, if you find something that you think is interesting, we're more than happy to talk about it. But we are not actually here to talk about Severance today. No. We've done a couple TV episodes, which has been dope. The feedback's been really fun. But we wanted to talk about
Hamilton Pride. I'm sorry. The first thing that popped into my mind was gay people, which is not wrong. That's
Why didn't you say that? We are here to talk about gay people. We are gay people.
Synchronized gay people.
Yeah, we're synchronized gay people.
We're here to talk about, gay people and kind of specifically, but also just overall, Hamilton Pride in general.
Yeah,
because we have found that we are very passionate about Hamilton Pride and the people here and how wonderful the community is. And so we wanted to talk about a podcast about it.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about like the Pride community in like New Zealand versus the Pride community in the States, and also like what it's been like for us being obviously like brand new, like still essentially outsiders.
Yeah,
coming into this community and how like beautiful it's been, but also what it's been like teaching us about ourselves, and then kind of like lessons that I think the States can take away.
Yes, absolutely. One of the major differences that I wanted to bring up, I love how serious I get all of a sudden after fucking singing Kier, Chosen One Kier. Shout out to anyone who watches Severance. If you watch Severance, please hit me up.
And if you don't watch Severance because you're like, no, everyone's like overhyped it, it's not going to be that good. It's amazing.
Yeah, just watch it. Coward. No, anyways.
You were one of those people. I was one of those people. Am I a coward?
Fair enough.
Am I a coward? Are you going to say I'm a coward?
No.
Exactly.
Do you like the pause? You fucking coward. No, I think one of the best things that I've noticed upon being here, and albeit it's been short, we've only like really participated in Hamilton Pride for this month because it's Hamilton Pride this month.
Yep.
Woo woo. So obviously we're very new. It's our first Pride with them, but everyone's so fucking welcoming and the board is awesome. You guys are crushing it.
And we aren't necessarily talking about like there's the actual Hamilton Pride, which is the board.
Yes.
And the organization. When we talk about Hamilton Pride, we do mean just the community.
The community, like, period. Thank you for reiterating that. Yes, absolutely.
So we're not talking about an individual organization, but we are indeed talking about like the community, like the
as a
queer
whole
community here. In like
tight knit.
Yeah.
Also, work very welcoming. I feel like back in the States, it was really hard to get in touch with anybody who was working on big projects for the queer community.
Yes.
It was very closed off. Like you had to be grandfathered in. There was no way to actually talk to anyone about collaborating or like really just being able to put an input on how things are going and how things should change or like concerns that we may have.
Direction for the community. And that's been like something that we've noticed was that multiple organizations have like hosted like basically open houses to have people come in and be like, where are we like not serving the community? How can we do better? What things like would you guys like to see? Like what don't we need to do?
Yep.
And that to me, just the already having the invitation out to the general public to be like, hey, come on in.
Yeah, to talk.
We want to talk about this has been something that I did not experience in the United States. And that's like living in multiple states and trying to be a part of the like active participation in the community
Mm-hmm.
is it was not this easy to like have your voice be heard.
100%. And you are someone, I'm just going to toot your horn. So toot toot.
No, thank you. I'll take that toot away from you. Thanks.
I should have asked for consent first.
You should.
Can I toot your horn?
Fine. She says
Beep, beep.
reluctantly.
Toot toot. That was so dumb. That was a really dumb bit. Sorry, y'all. Anyways.
Don't talk to my friend like that.
I won't.
Okay.
Period. Haha.
So
Very
continue
funny.
tooting. That
Toot
sounds
toot.
like you're farting.
Continue shitting your pants.
Perfect.
You are someone who has done Pride from a very young age. So I want to start with that. You have been saturated in the Pride community since you were a youngin'.
Yep. Since I was a little baby gay.
Tell me about your
A wee
first,
baby gay.
like, yeah, how old were you when you first attended any kind of gay queer event?
Probably like 13 or 14.
That's young. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Do you remember what your first, like, event was?
My first event was I snuck out with some friends to go to Pride. Yeah.
Like a Pride festival?
Yes, a Pride festival.
Oh my God.
Yeah, in Columbia,
That's
South
so
Carolina. Yeah.
sweet. In the South, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
And how
well,
was
I
it?
found that where there is, and this is not necessarily a good thing, but where there is more oppression,
Yes.
there is more like I guess push against that.
Yeah.
So like Reno Pride was, and like the Reno queer community on a whole felt very like disembodied.
Yeah.
And I think it's partly because there wasn't like that oppression that does exist in the South.
Mhm.
So there wasn't this like pushback for being seen and being visible.
Can I just butt in for
Yeah,
2 seconds
absolutely.
too? The West Coast as well. I feel like I've run into this problem. Every scene is very cliquey.
Yes.
So that's one of the things that I had an issue with, like, with Reno Pride, because I've only ever experienced Reno Pride, is that it's very cliquey. Like, people know each other and they only talk to each other amongst, like, their group.
Yeah.
It's not really a shared experience. And if you're from Reno and you're listening to this and you're like, that's not true, I'm sorry. This is my experience. I understand that everyone has different experiences.
Yes.
But in my experience, very cliquey, very hard to get into, very hard to build a community, very hard to, like, just mingle with people as well.
We've talked about that on past episodes
Mm-hmm.
about how the people who would come to our events were like, yeah, I couldn't ever find out about when things were happening. And that was something that I do want to like toot the horn of all the organizations here.
Toot 'em.
They are so good about
Toot toot.
letting you know about all these different events.
Yes.
Like if you're on Facebook, if you're on Reddit, if
Yep.
you are like anywhere on the internet, if you're on Instagram, you're getting like hit with like this drag show, this meeting, this like event that's happening, this coffee date, this dance party. Like they're just really good at putting it out there for you to find out about. And that's something that like I was really excited because like we got here and then it's like, oh my gosh, they do like a Saturday morning run. This
Yep.
is not queer related. This is just human being related and dog related.
Everyone's a little gay, in my opinion.
Well, that's true.
And dog related.
Yes,
That's cute.
and dog related. Well, because dogs run at the 5K.
Yes. And it's, again, very community based, and dogs are part of the community.
Yes.
It is a 5K. Yes.
So I think like that's something I've really liked. Whereas like a thing that we had complained about so much in Reno was that you found out about shit after the fact, but it was so hard to go on and be like, okay, what is happening this weekend?
Yep.
What's happening next weekend? And here you have like billboards. And look, if you're in Reno and you're like getting fucking shady because you're like, the rodeo has a billboard, and the like whatever meat fucking eating festivals you guys keep doing have actual like billboards.
The rib cook off.
Yes, the rib cook-off. I was like, whatever thing it is that you guys do that you are eating meat at. Those are the only things where I do see
Yes.
like advertisement for
Yep.
it, but like local little things, it's really hard to find.
If you notice, yeah, it is very hetero centered events that have the most like advertisement.
Motorcycle meat.
Yeah, it's fucking
the
August,
rodeo.
hot August night. So it's like cars, motorcycles, street vibrations. That's motorcycles, and then the rodeo, the fucking rib cook off. Which, by the way, is there anything straighter than a rib cook off? I don't know. I don't know, because the Republican, what was the GOP? Was it that
Yeah.
crashed grinder?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Republican convention. Yeah.
The Republican convention. Thank you. I was really struggling trying to remember the fucking name. My bad. Gayer than the Rib Cook-Off. The Rib Cook-Off is very hetero. Mm-hmm. And then there was another event that was like so plugged that like everyone knew about, and it was just not, again, very straight crowd. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, like there's not a lot of like giving to the smaller niche communities, which by the way, like we're all a little bit gay, so we're not technically even a smaller niche community. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like fucking what the hell, dude. But yeah.
Well, like I've been getting notifications. They have like a silent disco that's happening in Hamilton, and like they just have so many things that I'm like getting hit with like advertisements all the time for all these like things I can go to. So I have like a variety of options.
Yeah.
Even like quiz nights and like karaoke, and it's just like nice because it is like that was why we moved here. It's because we wanted more community, and I just wanted to be like, props to them for being so welcoming. And I do want to go back really fast because if you are in like New Zealand and you're like, oh no, bitch, it is click-based, it could be, and we could just be so new that we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
That we like haven't been a part of that. But so far, like when we went to, I talked to Caboose about this, and I think I mentioned on the last like a couple podcasts ago about like us going to the bowling night. Everyone was so fucking welcoming.
I was going to say,
and I've never experienced that when it comes to like group of people that already know each other.
Yes.
It's fucking awkward when you're the new kid.
Can we talk about for 2 seconds, like social media aside? So let's just say that like maybe it is because our algorithm is like new and like that's just what we're getting because we're new. Social media aside, when you go to these events, people A, are kind, and then B, when you see them a second time out at these events, they will go out of their way to talk to you, which is, again, like, I can't believe that that's such a novel concept for me.
Basic human kindness.
Or basic, like, hey, I've seen you before. Let's chat. Like, I did not grow up in a place where that was normal. It was like I've seen you before, and then just turn away, look away, don't look at them.
Yeah.
It's so strange seeing how, like, the West Coast is known for, like, you know, Hollywood and show business and, like, influencers and blah, blah, blah. But, like, in all reality, like, those people are so inherently, like, antisocial and shy.
And narcissistic.
And narcissistic at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's just a cesspool of, like, these real-life people don't matter. What matters is my followers kind of vibe. I don't know if... I'm going to do my best to stop discounting my own experience. That's my experience in the West Coast. So it's really crazy different, like, being in such a different country, obviously, and how scary that is for us. I don't know about you, but I was terrified going to events at first. I was like, oh God, like, I don't know how this is going to go. I know that I know how to talk to people, but I also just don't know how well I'll be received. And that is that fear of rejection. But like moving out here, I've really tried to work on the idea of like, again, you move to change your life. You have this opportunity to reinvent yourself. So you're going to take all the things that you like about yourself and really just embrace them. And if people don't like that, that's fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
that was why I loved moving as a kid. Was because you get to leave the shitty parts of you behind.
Yeah.
The like squabbles that you had and the idea that people had of you get to be left behind, and you get to bring the best part.
Yep.
And you also get to try different parts where it's like, okay, so previously, I was told that, like, whatever, I don't like singing. So then moving to this new place, I'm going to try that because no one's going to tell me.
Oh my God. There's got to be a word for that. Because, like, that's how I feel, too. Previously, I was told that, like, oh, I'm not someone who's into bright colors. Which is not true.
Yeah.
Turns out, like, one of the couple words that I used to describe how I wanted to decorate and organize, like, my room was I want it to be weird and I want it to be funky.
Yes.
And like that, I feel like is such a homage, and like being able to be weird and funky in front of people who don't know me, and also people from a different country who could very well just write me off because I'm American. And honestly, a lot of Americans are just fucking terrible.
Well, and okay, so that being said, I think that's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
You think so?
Is that Americans assume that everyone hates them.
Oh, it's that propaganda of,
isolationism.
It's isolationism. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's because Americans are told no one's going to like you.
Clocked me. Yes.
So then
Clocked.
You don't fucking think that people are going to like you.
Period.
And you, because American exceptionalism happens, then Americans are like, well, we're better than everyone, so no one likes us because we're better than everyone. Which, to be clear, we worked at a tattoo shop that did that propaganda on us. Mm-hmm. And then when we left that shop and opened up Cali Lou's and started talking to other studios, they were all like, we don't care.
Yeah,
like, we don't think about y'all.
Fed this idea that every tattoo shop in our town hated us because we worked at this tattoo shop. That's isolationism, baby. That's not okay.
And it's also exceptionalism. It's isolationism through exceptionalism, which is we are better than you.
Totally.
So therefore you hate us.
Yeah.
And that's the whole propaganda that America has, is that, oh my God, everyone hates us because we just like have a better life. We have all this stuff that's like so much better. Mm-hmm. And then when we talk to people here, because again, people associate, especially like the West Coast, but really all of America is only shown to the world through Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So if your only exposure to the US is US films and movies that promote LA as being gorgeous, and then if you've been to LA, you're like, there are tons of shady parts.
Totally.
There are also areas that you think are shitty and shady that are gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But it all comes down to what you've been sold.
Yes, 100%. I'm so sorry. I got so passionate out of nowhere. When where did we stay in our last week in America in LA?
I think it was Compton.
Well, it was Compton, right? Mm-hmm. Fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. We had such a good time. It was like, honestly, like walking down the street, you're sold this idea that like it's going to be violent and it's going to be terrible. You're going to get robbed. Walking down,
it's just because they're racist and
they're
black
racist.
Residents.
Yes,
that's all it comes down to.
It's literally just because they're fucking racist. And we were walking down, and I remember being like, I feel way more safe than I did like walking around fucking Hollywood Boulevard with all the Hollywood stars, because holy shit, that's scary.
Yeah, it's hella sketchy.
It is. Not okay. It is so scary.
Well, and again, you had talked to somebody who was not white, and she was like, yeah, LA was like scary. But then when you talk to white guys, like from here that have gone there, they're like, whatever, LA was amazing. And it's like, yeah, because America's incredibly racist. And if you're white, you're safe places. Yeah. That if you are a woman, or more accurately, if you're anyone that's brown, you're not safe there.
No.
And I think that like kind of coming back to it is that for you, it's not about like it, that is your experience because that is your reality. That is the reality that you had. And that's like, honestly, the validating part about me is that it's like, no, I grew up where like, you know, your neighbors. Like I grew up in a time in England and a time in the South that was very kind, that was very community-based. And those areas of the world are more community-based and are very kind. And the West Coast, like we've talked about many times before, is not. But I did want to touch back on the idea of like when you move, you get to be who you are. Yeah. And then because we have been like enmeshed in the like queer community here,
which all I ever wanted.
Yeah, amazing. And also very centralized in drag queens. And one of the things that I fucking love is because, again, in the States, it's kind of like assuming that everyone's just a fan. So if someone's interacting with you, like when we talk to drag queens there, it's very much just like, oh, you're just a fan. And here we're just like, we're people, you're fucking people.
Hi.
So there isn't this like weird divide. So we've made friends that are also drag queens, which little baby me is so fucking happy about, because again, drag queens fucking help raise me. And I wanted to talk about like the beauty of drag queens. And again, I'll touch on the fact, just like we always do, when we're talking about certain people, I am not saying that drag queens are a monolith. I understand that they are individuals with all of their own experiences, and they are performers just like anyone else. So it's like saying I'm friends with artists, I'm friends with actors, I'm friends with musicians. It is a job. It is a lifestyle in the sense of like being an artist's lifestyle. It's a performer. And it feels to me the same way I feel with like having friends that are actors, is there is a part of you that gets to just unabashedly be yourself when you are around people who get to perform and be as big as possible. And that's something that's the type of drag I really like, is the very like exaggerated drag when you get to just be as like weird or like big or funny or like goofy or just whatever the fuck makes you as a performer happy. And that's something that I've always been drawn to with drag, and with like drag queens specifically, is because like, just like what happens when you go to Pride, you're at home and you're like getting dressed and you're probably like one of the few like queer people you know that gets to like wear bright random shit. So when you're around a bunch of straight people, you're always dialing that shit back. You're like, okay, my makeup is too insane. You're getting ready for Pride and you're putting on your rainbows and you're like, bitch, this is too much. You did your rainbow makeup and you look in the mirror and you're like, I'm so over the top right now. And then you get to Pride and you're like,
I should have done more.
I should have done more.
I didn't do so much more. Yeah.
And not in like a like, oh no, I'm not good enough here, but that I have the freedom here to be as big as possible.
Yes.
And that is the beauty of like being friends with drag queens. And then we've also been watching the like RuPaul's Drag Race like Down Under, because like watching drag queens that also are like here.
Yes.
It's a very different dynamic. They're not like super shitty backstabby like the ones like in the States.
Yep.
We talked about that previously, that I apparently just don't like kind of game shows like that for the States, because they seem really like, they really want them to be mean.
Oh yeah, they set them up for like, you only get screen time if you're a cunt.
Yes.
You know?
And that's not something that like my little like sensitive heart resonates with.
Yeah.
I don't like people being mean like at all personally, but I in particular don't want that, because I think there's like stuff that you think that you shouldn't tell someone. If you need to talk shit about someone, do it to your friends. Don't let them hear it. That being said, if you say it to like people, then you should be able to say it to that person's face. But I think there's a difference of like, you say it to like your person in bed late at night, or you say it to your bestie. That should just stay between you.
Totally.
And a lot of times the shit that they like get them to say on camera is stuff that like that performer did not need to hear, that because all you're doing is hurting them and not helping them.
Oh yeah.
And I operate from a place of like, if you're telling me something, it should be to help me, not hurt me. And so that's my piece about that. But watching a bunch of like drag just over the last couple of weeks, while we've been like, okay, let's like learn about like these, like how we can better like help the performers who are fucking amazing, by the way, here, like how we can, you know, you can help with like social media and promotion, and we can also just like get the shop like aligned with them. And I want to do sets. I want to like build like just sets. That's it.
Yeah.
Theater sets, but not for whole ass plays. I want to do it for individual performances.
Yes.
Because that's about as close as you get to like making music videos.
Yep.
As a little theater nerd. So that's like my hope. So as we've just been enjoying these shows and watching them and doing like research about like, okay, like for me, like what kind of sets best accent these people, it has been so amazing to see that like we get to dress how we want to dress here. And no one is like looking at you like you're weird. No one's like, okay,
well, I think for me, it's very much like yes, that's what Pride does. It amplifies people, right? Pride is meant to be a celebration. And so when you're surrounded by the queer community, no one fucking cares. No one's judging you based off of how you're dressed. For me at least, what I have found is like everyone is just stoked to see everybody be their best selves. Yeah. And to have the authenticity to show up dressed however the fuck they're showed up. So even if it's just literally like a t-shirt and some jeans, people appreciate the fact that you're there. They appreciate the fact that you're showing up, that you're you. Yeah. And it could be a t-shirt and jeans, or it could be like, in this case, like I told you, I have these fantasies. I'm like, I love being in this queer community, and I love like being around drag queens, because guess what? Like I have realized that like, I mean, honestly, we're all in drag. Yeah. Right? What did RuPaul say? You're born naked and the rest is drag. And that is fucking true. Because I have had these like things where I'm like, Lou, I don't know how we're going to do this, but like one of these days I want to dress up as a cheerleader. I've always had a fantasy of being in a cheerleading outfit because that's cute. Yeah. I just like the outfit. I like the performance of it. I have always wanted to be, I don't know, like when I see cheerleaders in like horror slash films, I'm like, I want that to be me. I want to be the pink cheerleader Barbie. And guess what? Barbie can be anything. Yeah. So thank God that's our fucking brand, by the way. Because then I was like, on the other end, I'm like, I also want to be a Playboy bunny. How do we make that happen?
And I said, we can just dress as Playboy bunnies.
I was like, oh my God, you're right. We could.
That's, I guess.
What is stopping us?
Yeah, that's the beauty for me, is that it's like, okay, well, I wouldn't necessarily be like, hey, individually by myself, I want to go to a restaurant. Totally. Dressed as a Playboy bunny. I don't have any pants on. I don't know if they'll serve me. Yes. But the beauty of like drag spaces, like going to drag shows, is that I have never walked into a drag show and seen someone that is not like, you know, to the fucking tens when it comes to like their outfits, like other people showing up in drag. And I'm not like, oh my God, what are they doing? Are they a performer? They're not performing. Why would you wear that? Anytime, like, the bigger the outfit, the, like, more excited I get. That I'm like, oh my God, bitch, you look so good. And so it feels like such a space in which when you are in that community, and obviously drag queens help facilitate that community, which is why I give, like, drag queens and drag kings that, like, respect, is because they are, like, you know, the reason why the rest of us gather. And yes, as, like, audience members, we are still a part of it, but it does give us permission because they are just out there. Just
there's no hiding.
Yes,
that you're part of the queer community when you're in drag. And
yeah, when you have a fucking 2 foot tall wig and you're a 6 foot, like,
yeah, you're already 6'1".
Yeah, and then
the wig adds 2 more feet.
Yeah, you are not hiding.
No.
And that, like, lack of fear is something that, like, I am so drawn to because then it's that whole, like, courage is contagious.
Courage is contagious. That is such a good quote. Yeah. Absolutely. Your courage is contagious, and there's no hiding the fact that you're queer at that point. And then with being, I don't know, out there, you give other people the permission and also the courage to do the same.
Well, and that community promotes, like, it's a celebration of it. Yes. So then when you do show up and you are like looking cute, looking fierce, looking however the fuck you want to look, you then get like praised for it.
Totally.
Like whenever I'm in a drag like setting or like really a like queer setting, I don't hear people like making comments about like, oh, you're dressed like, no, you're like, what would happen when we would like dress nicely at like the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Is that they'd be like, oh, what are you dressed up for?
Yeah. And I'm like, first of all, I don't have to fucking tell you that. I don't need a reason, actually. I don't need to justify how I decided to fucking decorate my sim today.
And I don't think that like they're asking for like a reason. I think it's their way of like, I think it's a very American way of trying to be like, you look nice.
Yes.
But like while also simultaneously
knock you down?
Insulting you.
Yeah, you're knocking
to knock you down to their level.
Yeah, totally.
And you have to have a reason to dress like that. Whereas like in these spaces, you just get to dress however the fuck you want to dress.
Yeah, I just want to...
It just feels like a very judge-free zone.
Totally, totally. I mean, drag queens are the pinnacle of like, not the pinnacle... Maybe to me, actually. They are huge, like, pinnacles of the queer community for me. Yeah. And I don't know. There's something about, like, being surrounded by drag that has really uplifted me. Lou wrote this on the board, the whiteboard, where I was like, drag queens have changed my life.
Yes.
They've changed my life through and through and for the best. And, like, when I find myself being insecure by the way that, like, I presented myself, really the way that I am, I shouldn't even say, like, we like to dress up these words of, like, the way I presented myself or the way that I acted. No, this is who I am. And when I find, like, these creeping, like, little insecurities and this, like, crappy little voice in my head that's like, you know, maybe you should have toned it down a little bit. You're doing a lot. I just remember that, like, whoa, is it a lot or is that just who you are? There's nothing wrong with that. And if somebody else thinks that's a lot, that's fine. Give them the permission to do that, but never compromise the permission that you give yourself to literally be yourself. And I know it sounds so fucking cliche, but one of the quotes that has been like floating around my brain for so long, someone posted a reel and they were saying like, you know, you'll never be free from the cage of masculinity, but the key to that cage is around your neck. And although that was about masculinity, I think I've been able to... Did you just snatch that fucking gnat? Work. Second bug that's been killed on this episode, by the way. Second. 2 for 2.
I realize.
Well done.
There would be so many insects.
Fucking assassin right now. But yeah, although that quote was about masculinity, I was like, that quote also changed my life. I realized that a lot of my insecurities, a lot of like what was preventing me to just outwardly be myself, I have the key around my own neck now. No one else does. It's up to me. Why don't I just get out of the cage? There's no... Why?
Yeah. Well, and I think, like, yeah, that's another one of those beautiful parts about moving is because, like, we talked about... I don't know if I can talk about this, about, like, who you were in Reno.
Oh, talk about it.
Okay, we talked about this, about, like, when you grow up somewhere, there is a narrative that already exists around you.
Absolutely.
And that's what's like the beautiful part about us being brand new and coming here is that we get to see this world in a very different like way. Because we don't have the history, we don't have the narrative. So like all the people we're meeting have relationships with each other that exist outside of us. And there hasn't been a story written for us yet. And we don't have a story written for them. So we get to meet them exactly who they are right now. And it isn't like, okay, well, I knew this person back in high school, and back in high school, they were like this.
Nope.
And so all of those like layers of what you think you know about someone, which is what happens when you are in relationships with people. But it's also something that like we do our best to like try to kind of like dissect with each other.
Yes.
Is that like I not dissect but discard. Like
Yes.
I try not to be like, okay, well, I knew you when you were 19, and when you were 19, you had purple hair. So you have to always have purple hair.
Well, totally.
And that's who you are. And like you liked this one outfit, and so that's the only outfit I can see you in.
It's the trope of like like when I'm gonna get a little bit more serious. Hopefully you're cool with me talking about this, but like when I met you, it was like just recovering from trauma.
Oh yeah,
right
in the midst of it. Like
Absolutely.
I had just moved away from my abuser.
There we go. So like when I had met you, you were in a space where like I could tell that there was a lot going on. There's a lot to deal with. So to bring your trauma into like who you are today would be unfair to you. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like like subconsciously people do that to the people that they know. And I, again, like the pressure of being trapped in that box of like, imagine if like people were like, oh, well, like you had just left and this is you leaving your abuser and this is who you'll always be.
Yeah.
So the anxiety that you had, right, when you were first out of that relationship, trying to figure that shit out. Can you imagine being pigeonholed in that?
And that's what it's like.
Yeah.
That's like also why it's so hard for people to like be able to discover who they really are, is because people make like, if you've grown up somewhere forever, everyone has this fucking script for you, and you stay in this fucking bubble because it's so hard to be like, that's not who I am anymore. Or like, this is what I want to do. And I'm evolving and I'm changing.
Yeah.
And it's because we have these like scripts that have just been written our whole fucking lives.
Totally.
And that's like the beauty where like you come out here and you get to blossom.
Yep.
And that's where like for us, like coming into this community is also understanding that like a lot of the people here have been here. So like they also have that like bubble that they live within.
Yep.
And that can be beautiful. It can be this like sense of safety that you're like, but I love who I am, and I love like the people I'm around, and they provide me with like the safety to be who I am.
Totally.
But if you do grow up in a world where it's like, but I didn't feel fully understood, you are fighting so much harder to feel understood.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everyone should move away from like everything.
Yeah, it's funny. I had this conversation earlier today where I'm like, I understand and I know that like regardless of where you are in the world, you can absolutely reinvent yourself. That is something that can happen. However, moving really helped me.
Yeah.
Moving was such a great aid in that. It made things a lot easier.
It makes it easier in that one regard, but it makes it harder, I think, like with everything else.
Yeah.
So it's one of those of like, it's going to be hard either way. Which way do you want it to be?
Yeah, pick.
Yeah, because
It's
again,
difficult
like,
either way.
you know, with me changing my name, it's a lot easier here because nobody knows my old name.
Totally.
And then when I do have to interact with my old name, because it, you know, was given to me by my abuser, and it's very tied into that. So like I had an interaction the other day with somebody that were like, oh, I know you, and I know your mother, and like all of that. And it literally triggered nightmares that night.
Oh, for sure. Brings it all back.
Yeah, it all came like rushing back. And it was something that like the next day I had to be like super duper kind because I was hurting so bad just based off of like a really harmless interaction. Like harmless, you know, they didn't mean any harm by it.
Yeah, they don't know the backstory and also didn't know that it was going to be such a trigger. But yeah, here it's like you are known as Lou.
Yeah, here I'm just Lou and that's it.
And that's who you are. And I feel like the same thing where like I had changed my last name so that way I could be like completely separated from my family and build a legacy that felt better for myself because I feel like names have so much power, you know? And so like I was talking to you earlier today where I'm like, listen, like, you know, Callista and my old last name, she would have like absolutely downplayed herself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was her habit. Her go-to is let's downplay.
Well, that's how she had to survive as a child.
Yeah. You are never supposed to shine brighter than anybody else because that is how you get in trouble. We're going to make sure that like...
Ooh, that one hurts.
Yeah, right? Like the idea of like, 3 for 3, bitch. Did you get it?
I don't know. No, I didn't. I think you got away.
That would have been so... All right, well.
No, continue.
No, we're ending now because you just fucking...
interrupted you trying to save your life?
Trying to save me, and it didn't work.
You failed at saving me, so therefore
we cannot continue. No, but Callista kills now. I mean, the way that I feel about her is like, you move to a different country, you're a bad bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And not only are you a bad bitch, but like, you're smart, you're funny, you're also like personable. You know how to talk to people, you know how to market, and you're good at it, girl. Fucking work it.
Yes.
Work it. You are good at it. Own it. Because like, again, like it's really hypocritical of me to tell other people like it does you no service to discredit yourself. Mm-hmm. And it also does nobody else's service to discredit yourself. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that?
Absolutely.
And so why would I put myself in that position? So again, like the whole point of moving away and like also adopting the things that I like about myself is embracing the fact that, yeah, I'm good at things and I need to own it.
And celebrating it.
Celebrate. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Celebrate the things you like about yourself.
And that's how I feel about drag. Like, I'm like, that's literally, drag is a celebration of all the things that, like, you inside really are. You're fucking fabulous. You're big. You're bright. You've got a character going or you don't. Whatever fucking works. You might be the same person you are out of drag as you are in drag, or you might be two completely different people.
Yeah.
Either way, it's like...
Both of them are you, though.
Yeah.
Both of them exist within you.
Both of them exist in you. They are still you, and you are filling that cup in a way that is like to be celebrated.
Yeah.
I love drag. I love drag. You had a question earlier that you refused to talk about in person.
It's because I knew that this would be fucking good because we spent our whole like afternoon just like chatting about.
It was really cute.
We're talking about how you are actually an uncle.
I'm an uncle for sure. I'm uncle coded. Because I tried to say that I was a teenage boy, but it didn't like
You're
fit
not
right.
a teenage boy, though. You are definitely an uncle.
Yeah, there's a lot of parts of me that are masculine. For example, like, I will drink any beer you serve me. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Give me an IPA. No. I love a stout. I'm really into stouts right now.
Yeah.
But they are...
Because I said you had the taste buds of a fucking uncle.
And I said, thank you so much.
And you're like, yeah, give me a steak. Yeah. And to be clear, if you're white, not your white uncle.
No. We're talking about at the cookout.
But do you have like someone for white people to envision?
Like an actor?
Yes, you need to give... White people don't know what fucking uncles are.
It's not like meet the Fockers kind of like white dad uncle or whatever. We're talking about your uncle who's like really cool and unhinged, you know? He's been divorced, but like he's fine with it. I don't know how to describe him. How would you describe him? How would you describe me as an uncle?
Well, I was going to describe you as a drag queen.
Please do.
Because what I think you are as a drag queen is that, like, if I had to build you.
Build my drag self,
Build
please.
your drag self.
Thank you very much.
So I personally love big hair, so you're getting big hair. That's
big
the first thing.
hair.
Big hair.
So I'm a queen, I'm not a king?
You are still a queen.
Love! Okay,
yes.
Work.
But you do not tuck. There is a bulge down there.
I do the opposite of tucking. I pat my dick. Okay.
Yes.
Love.
Because you are equipped.
And
so, yes.
I got a big package.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a big package? Sorry.
Of course you do.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you are not a refined queen. You can. But your character is not that.
Right.
Your character, when you're just out there just like talking to the audience, when you're just like, hey, I am interacting, you have big hair.
Yes.
Big makeup.
Yep. Big.
Soft little mustache.
Oh,
that Asian uncle mustache.
Yes.
Yes. Little soft mustache. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You are wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Thank you. I love those shirts. Yeah. I love how tacky they are. I'm going to 180 really fast.
Yep.
I got a fucking memory of when we went down to South Carolina and I was wearing, I think it was Caboose's shirt actually.
Yes.
I don't know. I loved that shirt. And I think maybe y'all gave it away or maybe he still has it. But one of these days I might just buy it off of him. I don't know.
He got rid of all of his fun shirts.
Here's the thing. I so regret, like, after seeing that, I'm like, dude, that shirt was everything to me. It was tigers. It was just tigers and palm leaves. And I was like, it's so ugly, and I loved it.
So you can get it on Amazon. Someone can send it to her.
Please do.
Because that's where I got it for him. Because again, he was afraid of like having fun stuff there. He would like occasionally do it, but like wasn't like a, hey, I'm going to be like super fun.
Yes.
But as he's hanging out with more of our queer friends, he is doing more fun, like clothes and more fun stuff.
Which
and, like,
is
introducing color.
Everything. Yeah. By the way.
Okay. So then.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt.
Right.
And that's like kind of your thing. You wear like a wife beater and a Hawaiian shirt. And then little tiny like hoochie mama, like I guess not like super hoochie mama, but they're the little shorts, but they're all like glitter. You know what I'm talking about? Those little like, what you see like what Taylor Swift wears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those little like glitter shorts. Right? Yes.
Okay. This is getting really unhinged.
Because that's you.
Unhinged. I love it. Yeah.
Yes. Mustache. Big hair.
Fucking Hawaiian shirt for summer. And then glitter shorts.
Glitter shorts. Yeah.
Am I wearing heels? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes. But periodically throughout, you do not like to be wearing heels. So you kick those fuckers off and you put on flops.
Oh, it's the sandals and sock combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that's
you're
hilarious.
Right. It's fucking like your.
So I'm a comedy queen, you think?
Yes, you are. You're definitely a comedy queen. You're very funny and you know how to work the crowd. But that's your outfit.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that was a really good build your drag. If I were to build your drag, I would say you're a drag king. Actually.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, drag king. And
I want to be a drag queen though because they're so pretty.
They are so fucking gorgeous. Honestly,
and I know I look good with a mustache, but like
drag queens have taught me more about femininity than I think like my own mother did. So truly, anyways.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm a king.
Yes.
But then I'm gonna make you do me as a queen because I want to hear me as a queen, please.
Oh sure. Okay. So if I were to say your king self, I oddly enough saw Charlie Chaplin, but buff as fuck. So your whole routine.
So
is
you're making me look like Hitler,
basically. I mean, you said it. I didn't.
That mustache, bitch! I'll get canceled.
No, you're Charlie Chaplin though.
Okay,
but okay, maybe different mustache. No, I want you to have like so how I imagine it is you still got your pinker hair, but like you've got a pink stash, like a good
but it's
handlebar
stash.
Okay,
so it's a handlebar stash.
It's a handlebar stash, but like we're wearing the same era of clothes as Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
And then your whole reveal shtick is like you tear off the pant legs and you've got giant muscly fucking Mewtwo legs, right?
Okay, thank you.
And you tear off your fucking arms, your sleeves. That's your whole reveal, fucking muscle mommy. Because that's what you are. I mean, your lats are insane. You just fucking bust through that bitch.
Nice.
And then you lift weights during the set, of course, obviously. And you just charm the crowd. You charm the pants off of the crowd.
Oh.
You remain tucked, though.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I wanted you to have a bulge in your shorts.
Thanks for that.
Because I want to confuse people.
Yeah, and be like...
I like that moment of being confused.
I like telling people that they don't know what I'm working with.
That's why I like that.
A lot of people, it's so hilarious because some people will be like, ha ha ha, that's so funny. And some people will be like, oh, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so hilarious.
It's really funny because when I was younger, like I did not like androgynous. Like it was very confusing for me as somebody who's autistic and was like, I need definitions for everything.
Yes.
And now it's like gone the opposite way as I've been like, things are not black and white.
Yes.
Everything is gray. Now, like, androgynous people are, like, phenomenal to me because I'm like, I like that I don't know. I don't know, like, what rules you're supposed to, like, abide by of, like, do I treat you like a guy? Do I treat you like a girl? Like, what do I treat you like?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I love that.
Just treat you like a fucking human.
Okay. So then if I were to do you as a drag king.
Yes.
You're giving me Bruno Mars.
Thanks. That's a compliment.
All the way.
Thank you.
But
I have a cousin actually who was one of his backup dancers.
Nice.
Fun fact.
There you go. Yeah, you're Bruno Mars all the way.
Psychic.
That's like your music.
Thank you.
You're like you're getting the ladies like swoon.
He's little too, you know.
Yeah.
He's little, but he does have like allure to him. And his songs are great. I love 24 Magic, 24K Magic or whatever it was.
Yep. But then when you're funny,
yes,
it's gonna get really racist for a second.
Okay.
You have like a Fu Manchu.
Of course.
Yeah. And you do Kung Fu. Because you're the wrong type of Asian.
Ben Kwando.
Yes, sorry, you do Ben Kwando.
Thank you. Correct yourself.
But people will think that it's Kung Fu.
For those of you who don't get that joke, my dad once at her vow renewal was drunkenly telling everyone that he was a professional wrestler, and he is not.
He said he was a professional wrestler in high school?
You can't.
In high school,
so
he
you
was a
can't
professional wrestler.
start with "I'm a professional wrestler" and then end with that sentence with "in high school." That doesn't correlate. So then we came up with Ben Kwando. Anyways,
And we did a commercial.
it was hilarious.
We did Ben Kwando in the garage.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, back when we used to do commercials on here.
Totally.
That was like a thing that we had fun doing for a minute, and then we like ran out of stuff.
Well,
and we got really busy at work.
We got insanely busy.
Um,
Okay, so drag
yes,
queen.
I want to
you.
be a drag queen because I don't ever get to feel pretty.
I so see you as like the 80s. I don't know why, but you've definitely got huge hair, long too, but it's a perm. It's always permed. Always permed.
Did you know I love curly hair?
Yeah. Yeah, and I see you a lot. You're always wearing a like a one piece like swimsuit. Always. And I think oddly enough, you don't wear heels. You're a sneakers girl.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sneakers through and through.
Dope.
And I think your whole shtick is like I see you as an amazing lip syncer.
Thank you.
And then I see you humping people.
I do like to hump people.
Yeah.
That's accurate. And I do like lip syncing, and I do like combining the two of them.
And you have weird dance moves. And they're great.
100%.
Yeah.
You have to have weird dance moves.
And you make
It's not
really
funny.
intense eye contact too while you do
Now
it.
you're just describing me as a person.
I think so. It's just you in a different outfit at this point.
It's just me with a big wig.
The clothes that you normally wear.
This is what I do. This is what I'm wearing. I'm
Yes.
like, okay, so it's just me in a big wig.
Yes, but to add to the level of unhinged though, your makeup, like I think your face would be very, very Kiss, but colorful.
Nice.
So we're talking like full painted,
Yep.
but like unhinged, you know?
Nice.
So that's how I see
Yes.
you as a drag queen.
Dope.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
Very well done.
I really just need you to wear this uncle outfit.
Okay.
At some point.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Here's the thing. I always, as a young gay, I remember thinking about this early high school being like, why the fuck are all my friends gay? And being so like, just like over my head.
Oh yeah. I had a lot of friends like you.
All of my friends are turning gay. What is happening?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, how do I always accidentally become friends with gay people? It turns out.
Yeah. You're like, oh no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gay
I
panic.
was the one that told you were gay.
Mm.
That was me. I was that friend.
You were
was
that
like,
friend. You were like, hey, I think you might just be gay.
Yeah. Well, I would typically be like, I don't know. Do you ever think about girls? Do you think girls are pretty?
Mm-hmm.
And then when they'd like do that, like, I'm like, yeah, dude, you're gay.
Yeah, you're gay. Sorry.
Like, you're gay. It wasn't like I think you might be. I would just be like, you're gay.
Oh, for sure.
Because
For sure.
like, they would just be like, oh my God, how do you know? And I'm like, it's a little bit like when we said, like, Caboose was talking the other day because we were watching, what is it? Love on the Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that show makes me sad because it shows me how much I mask, like, all the time.
Yeah.
And I watch them and, like, how much they aren't, like, having to mask, especially, like, on the show, that I'm like, man, that makes me really sad because it makes me so aware because I watch them and I'm like, this is how I want to interact with everyone all the time.
Yeah.
So it does make me really sad. And then I was laughing about the fact that I was like, I can't believe, like, it took us watching this show for all of us to be like, yeah, bitch, you're autistic.
Yeah.
And he was saying that when he was still going to therapy in the States, he like told his like therapist that his wife was autistic. And she was like, oh, is she diagnosed? And he's like, no, but like, it's really obvious. And I was just like, oh. Okay.
Oh! Clocked.
Thanks.
You said, oh, really? It's that obvious?
Yeah. I was like,
oh, really?
yeah.
That's news to me.
I was like, okay.
Clocked.
thanks.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember crying, texting one of my friends being like, I think I'm bisexual. Like thinking it was like the end of the world because I had so much like shame. I had such an identity crisis around it. And I just like want to hug that poor girl and be like,
yeah.
Who cares, girl? It's not that big of a deal.
Yes.
You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
You're fine.
100%.
Yeah.
I felt like that when I kissed a boy and I liked it and I thought I was straight.
No.
I need to, oh no, that's the journal that got destroyed. I was like, I need to find that journal entry where I was like, you're straight. you're straight.
And you're like panicking about being
Yeah,
straight. You had the
because
opposite of gay panic. I had full gay panic.
No, I had straight panic. I was like, oh my God, bitch, you're straight. You like
horrible.
boys?
That sucks.
Like, that's gross. And then, I married a boy.
You know what? And it happens.
He's pretty dope, though. I'll keep him.
I was going to say, it happened. What did I used to say? He just ruined your perfect gay life.
Mm-hmm.
Which, honestly, your gay life is still perfect.
Oh, yeah, it's
just
because
you're with
now
a
I
dude.
have drag queen friends. Yeah. So, like, little me could not be happier.
Oh,
that whole asking myself, how would 13-year-old, like, Lou feel about this? 13-year-old Lou, every single year of my life, 13-year-old Lou is like, this bitch gets cooler and cooler. I
so badly, like, I have only ever wanted to be a part of a community and like give back to the community and also just encourage other people to do that because it's something that is so missing in Reno. Like it is just not, it's not it. And it has like filled my cup more than full to be a part of this and be able to help where I can. Yeah. And like, you know, market and just like, I don't know, have fun with our friends. And like, it doesn't feel like a work thing. It feels like I get to do this for people I care about. Yeah. Well, like we're going like next weekend. We have the drag show. Yep. So like if you are in Hamilton, you need to go to Biddy Mulligan's. Yep. Next Friday. Mm-hmm. And watch, is it Battle Royale, right? Yep. Royal Battlegrounds. Sorry, Royal Battlegrounds. That was a Callistaism just now. Yep. I was Royal Battlegrounds. It's at Biddy Mulligan. Starts at 8:30. It's going to be awesome. You definitely need to, please come. If you want to get tickets, we got links on our fucking, we got reels. Yep. Or send us a message and I'll give you like information. Also, we're giving away 2 tickets. Yeah. So join the giveaway. Yeah. Join the giveaway. But we were talking about that, about like I get to like decorate like the set and it's not going to be my best set, but it's like the start, you know, I'm learning like supplies still here. And it doesn't feel like work at all. It feels like hanging out with friends. Yep. Where I'm like so excited because it feels like I, as an adult, now get to play with my friends. And that's what makes me really happy is it feels like this community that we've become a part of is just like people that I get to play with and it feels easy. Yeah. And it's it feels like the easiest community I've like been a part of. Like CrossFit was hard because I had to like be accepted. I had to get to like a certain level of fitness before it was like, okay, now you're one of us. And the queer community in South Carolina was the same way where it was like, you got to like prove it. And then I married a man and I got kicked the fuck out. Yep. And that was like, you know, part of the times. But then, and even with like groups of friends that had already existed and I kind of like came in, it was like, totally. I think we talked about this actually. Like I had a friend that like was particularly very nice to me, but especially when I dress mask. And the second I started sliding to the other way again, because like I have my days where like, I do want to dress mask. But I am very femme, you know, and I have my days where like I have like, I would say months where I love just being femme. And that's where I lost them. Like they were like, okay, well, I mean, I guess you can do that. And it just sucks, you know? Yeah, because it's that like prove your queerness, like prove like that part of you. Yeah. Fuck, I think that's it. I think that's all I got, dude. Do you have stuff? No, I mean, other than I'm grateful. Thank you for having us, Hamilton. We love you so much. Oh my God, yeah. I love it here. I can't wait to see what else we do. And I'm excited. I'm just excited to be here. Same. It. Okay. Name one thing you're proud of today. Oh, right. One thing I'm proud of. It is on our board. I'm very proud of taking a nap today. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good nap. It was such a good nap. I had a moment where I'm like, oh, but like you could just push through and like keep going and just do this thing. And I was like, but you're tired. Like, let's just sleep. And also we've been waking up at 7 a.m. every day. Oh yeah. What is that? Y'all. I need to know for any of our like local, like Hamilton or Kiwi friends, what is this? Do y'all wake up at 7 a.m.? Because I cannot stop waking up at 7 a.m. Is this a countrywide thing? Is this like a Southern Hemisphere thing? Like every single morning, it is like 7 o'clock, and my body, like to the T, just what is happening to me? And my brain, and if you're like, hey, blackout shades, got them. Yeah, it's not the light, like, and it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. Yep. I went to bed last night at 1 o'clock. You went to bed at 2. Yep, and all 3 of us. 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Just like, and like so awake too. I tried because Caboose is convinced it's because the dogs wake him up at 6:45 for food. I even woke up at 5 to feed them. Yes, 5
to feed them
5.
and then let them go to the bathroom. And then they were still asleep. And then I went back to sleep. And at fucking 7:01, I was like, I'm awake. And so it's every morning at 7 o'clock. Here, what is this?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's like we have a ghost in our house. It's like, bitch, you wake up. I don't know what it is. So I need to know what that is.
Let us know. What are you proud of today?
I am proud that Caboose and I went to the movies.
I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, we went and watched Sinner.
Yeah.
Pretty solid. Yeah.
You were telling me all about it. I want to
Didn't
watch
love
it.
the end, but overall, great movie. But like, it's a really big deal to us to support like different like people of color like movies, like black films.
For sure. Absolutely.
Is a really big deal. And also, I love movie theater.
Speaking of black films, I'm so excited for Jordan Peele's new movie.
He crushes every time.
He's so good.
Yes.
He's so good. I cannot
Yes.
wait. It's going to be so fun. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching.
No, you have to. What was your win for the day? That's what you're proud of. What's your win? What did
my
you do?
win for today,
What are you winning at, bitch? You worked out for like 5 days in a row.
I have worked out.
You're not proud of that, muscle mommy?
Thank
You don't want to show them your muscles? Yes.
My lats are actually really small right now, so I need to start like actually doing like pull-up exercises. So don't look at those. But anyways, what am I proud of today? I'm proud of
No, your win.
My win for today is I'm gonna cook. That's my win for the day.
Oh, nice. That's a good win.
Yeah, how about you?
My win for the day is working out.
Working out.
Yes. I fucking worked out. I've been consistent about working out.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling better. I started noticing some cellulite on the front of my thighs a couple weeks ago, and I didn't like it. And so if you increase your muscle mass, your body fat goes down. But more accurately, if you just fill that skin with muscle, you can't see the cellulite.
Period.
So that's my like hot take on that. So I've been doing a lot of squats and back to like lifting weights, and I'm stoked because I can like see the changes.
Yeah.
And I installed a mirror in the living room that looks hella weird because it doesn't make any sense.
No, I think it looks great.
I love it because our house is unhinged.
It is unhinged.
Just like us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love
Packed
it.
full of personality. Just like us.
Just like us.
Perfect. So on that note, drag queens change our lives. Pride in Hamilton is the tits.
Yeah, it's amazing.
The queer community here is the best.
We love you guys.
And we're just happy to be here. And we'll see you back next week. Guinness, stop eating your toes.
Fuck you. Bye, bye, bye.